I have a plant collection, and I might name them and make scarves for them. Hi, I'm Ryder Fortson. I'm here with 17, and this is 17 questions. It was a bit of a long process due to COVID, but the moment that I found out that I had gotten the role, it was a dream come true. I was ecstatic. It was incredible. I remember like screaming up and down in our kitchen, just like jumping around with my brother and my mom and my dad. I was really, really passionate about this project, so I actually wrote a letter to the director, Kelly, and the producer, Jim, and I explained how connected I was to the role of Margaret and how I had gone through everything that she had gone through and why I was so passionate about it, and it worked. The magic and power of a written letter. I would say that we're pretty similar. I mean, we're both pretty curious, kind people. While I was shooting Margaret, I was going through a lot of the same things that Margaret goes through in the book and the movie as well. She is one of the kindest people you will ever meet. She's an absolute legend, just such an inspiration, honestly. She created this entire world, and it was so incredible to meet the person who really thought up Margaret and brought her to a book form so that we could bring her to life on the screen. I read a bunch of Judy Blume's books when I found out that I got the role. I had like a huge stack of them. I don't think I can possibly pick, honestly. They're all so incredible and so true to the human experience. I don't remember any explicit advice that she gave me, but I think that just working with her and seeing how professional that she is and how kind and generous and welcoming she is to everyone is just such an example for me and for everyone else on set, and it just made it such a nice place to work. Sort of. I believe in some aspects of it over others. I think some of it makes sense, and other parts of it are a little far-fetched. I enjoy doing arts and crafts of all kind. I can knit, I can paint, I draw all the time. I actually recently got into bookbinding. I taught myself how to do that. I just love being artsy and in all different types of formats, and it's just my way to unwind and de-stress from a hard day. I have a plant collection, and I might name them and make scarves for them. I have named all of my plants since I first got them, and I refer to them as my children because they are my babies. Recently, I did get back into knitting, and I made a scarf for one of them. Yeah. It's a hard job being a mother to a bunch of plants. My favorite musical would have to be Six. I was obsessed with it when it came out. I actually listened to that pretty much all the way through shooting Margaret. It was the only thing I listened to. I was obsessed. And Don't Lose Your Head would probably be my favorite song. I actually shop a lot of my stuff, like all vintage and thrifted stuff. I did get recently into buying stuff off of Depop, which is like secondhand clothes, brands, all that stuff. And I think it's just really nice to shop sustainably. I have this awesome vintage motorcycle jacket that has all like this cool like metal belt and these cool like shoulder pads and all that. And it's one of my favorite things I own. I would love to control the water. I feel like that's such a cool thing to be able to do because like water's all around us. And also I'm a surfer, so I'd love to just be able to go out on a day when it's like super flat and just make all these awesome like 10-foot waves come up. I think that growing up in the 70s has a lot of bonuses because I could see a bunch of my favorite bands live in concert. That would be awesome to be able to see like Black Sabbath. I do think that growing up today has a couple of advantages, especially with all the support that we have now as teenagers, because it's hard growing up, like just growing up in general. So I think I would rather grow up now. I think it would have to be Schitt's Creek because I have seen it 3 or 4 times. I've watched it myself, with my grandma, with my brother, and with my mom. And it is hilarious, and it's definitely a show that I can just turn on, relax, and knit to. I would love to work with everyone again. Everyone that I've worked with since I was 4 has been so incredible and so welcoming and such an inspiration to work with, honestly. I would love to be in another movie with Kathy and Rachel, as well as Paul Rudd and Judy Greer and Rebecca Hall and all of them. They've just all been so incredibly welcoming and amazing. I have only been to Canada and across the United States, but I would love to go to New Zealand for like a weekend surf trip. Or not weekend, but like longer. A forever surf trip. A month-long surf trip. God, a girl can dream. Social media kind of scares me. I don't control any of my professional accounts. My parents handle all that for me, and I'm very grateful for that. Does Pinterest count? Because I get all of my arts and crafts ideas off of there, and I have 25 million boards of just art and aesthetic photos. So just being yourself. I think that's the most important thing, and I think that's really the message of the movie. Thank you guys so much for having me, 17, and make sure you go check out Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, in theaters on April 28th.